Are you in the market to buy 1967 to 72 Chevy or GMC truck doors? Buying newer reproduction doors can be very expensive, and they usually require freight shipping. Finding a good set of used doors can save you a ton of money, but you do need to know what you're looking for. So stick around and I'll show you how to identify each of these doors and what differences they may have. Hey guys, it's the Chad, and you've seen from my previous videos that every couple years GM changed a lot of their parts on these trucks. It was either the hoods, the hood latches, the front fenders, the bumpers, the grills, and surprise, surprise, the doors were no exception. Many of the changes were very minor, but if you're building a year-specific truck, you need to ensure you know what you're looking for. So looking at these from the outside, it's going to be pretty tough to tell what year these came from, or really if there were any changes. The only significant change that you can see from the outside is going to be on the wing windows. In 1967, they had their own wing window, whereas the 68 through 72s, they had theirs. Now, the biggest change that you can see looking from the outside would be this lip here. This wing window, the glass would actually slide down into this channel, whereas the 68 to 72, you can see that there's a button. There's actually a hole in the glass for the release handle on the inside, whereas the 67 doesn't have a hole in the glass. Now from the inside view, you can definitely see the difference because you can look at the wing window release handles. This one does look different than the 68 to 72s. Again, you can see that this release handle actually goes through the glass to the button on the other side, whereas the 1967, it does not go through the glass. Over the 6-year period, there were several different interior door panel options. This one has holes for the door handle and the window crank, but it doesn't have holes for an armrest. Another option would be very similar to this, but it would be covered in vinyl. It would still have the window crank, the door handle, and it would have a padded armrest, just like in this picture. So as we slide over to our 1972, this was a one-piece formed plastic panel. It had a built-in armrest and it protruded from the door quite a ways. This was specific to 1972. So pop quiz on your 1967 to 72 GM truck door knowledge. Which one's my 1972? They both came off the same C10. They look exactly the same color, but would you believe that one of them is a 1972 and one's not? But how in the world can you tell the difference? If we take a closer look at the 1967 to 71 doors, this top panel below the window is completely smooth. But if you slide over to a 1972 door, you look at this top rail, it's still smooth, but you see this reinforcement screw underneath the wing window. That just gave it a little bit more structure. So if you're building a 1972 year-specific build, you do need to ensure that both your doors have that reinforcement screw. If it doesn't, somebody will notice. Another way to help you guys identify these doors is to open the driver's door and look at the back. GM put these bright blue stickers on. It has the month and year of manufacture along with the full VIN number. If you can keep the original door with this sticker on it, it's definitely worth more money, but you're probably not going to be able to get this 50-plus-year-old sticker off and get it onto a new door. If you guys are getting value from these videos, hit the like button. That way it allows me to keep making more videos like this and become a subscriber. These 1967 to 72 doors were just prone to rust. If you're going to go out and look for a good set of used doors, here's a couple things you definitely should be looking at. Look at the bottom of the doors. Not only the outside, but the inside. So many times we see that these doors are bubbling from the inside out. Now, can you salvage these? Maybe. You know, we can put a new quarter on, or we could go through and skin the whole door, but is it worth the time and labor to do that? Sometimes it's just cheaper to go out and buy a reproduction door. So here's an interior view of the bottom of the door. And again, this is just completely rusty. There's no saving this door. What happens a lot of times is when we pull these door panels off, you'd be amazed what you find in the bottom. I don't know how many times that we've found multiple playing cards. Yeah, playing cards. I don't know if people are playing poker as they drive down the road. That and matchbooks. My guess is that they're trying to go through and keep this window from rattling when the weather stripping gets bad, and then they drop down into the door. Once that weather stripping gets bad, then we get a lot of leaves and debris that go down to the bottom of the door and plug the drain holes. Once the drain holes are plugged, the door just fills with water. Then it just rusts from the inside out. Other problem areas that we find is when people remove the trim or take off the original mirrors and replace them with something smaller such as chrome. Now they don't go back and fill these holes. That just allows water to go in and start to fill the bottom of the door. Again, if the drains are plugged, you got real problems. So when you're buying these doors, especially used at swap meets, Craigslist, Marketplace, whatever it may be, you do need to definitely inspect these doors to make sure they're usable. On this one here, you can see how the actual spot where the door hinge mounts, it's actually just torn the metal, and this isn't salvageable. They've actually tried to weld it at one point, but again, it's a trash door. So now you've seen the differences of all the doors and what years they fit. Now the decision is yours. Are you going to go out and try to find a good set of used doors? Or are you going to go out and buy new reproduction doors? There are a ton of aftermarket parts for the old 67 and 72s, and there are a ton of parts for the doors too. You can go through and get one-piece power windows. You can go through and shave the doors and put door poppers in. You can get custom interior door panels. You can get billet handles. The options are endless. I hope you guys made it to the end. If so, make sure you hit the like button. Type down an old clickety-clack what videos you'd like to see next. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.